angels and demons, Heather here with another speed paint video. This story is actually a little darker. Well, not like really dark, but okay. So my school has actually been on the news a few times. The school that I've been to growing up. My K through 8 school has been on the news once, and my high school has been on the news a total of, let's see, 3 times. So I figured why not share all those times my school has been on the news. So the first time that my school was on the news, it was like my K through 8 school, and it was also the time where my high school was in on the news. I'm not going to say which school this is. If you guys know what school I'm talking about, then please don't get beef, because stuff like this can happen at any school. So, okay, so what happened in with my K through 8 school is one of the girls in my grade, a cheerleader, created a hit list with another cheerleader in the high school. Just a list of students and one teacher that they didn't like. It was a joke type of thing that they did on Instagram, but because of what it is, it got pretty serious. All the people on the list were called and the girls were suspended. Now, because I didn't hear about this until I saw like news reporters here at my school. In fact, I was in the background of the news reporter, and when the news reporter was just finishing the story, this one kid jumped behind her, like, and it actually cut back to the station when he was mid-jump. It's funny. Seeing that was hilarious. And you were able to see me in the background because, well, I was the only person wearing a winter coat. I'm very sensitive to the cold. I mean, I'm not as sensitive as I used to, but moving on. So, yeah, because I didn't hear about it until the news reporters were there, I was obviously not on the list, which I'm actually happy about because, well, I didn't know who the girl was until I realized that one girl who was a cheerleader wasn't talking to me anymore. There was only one girl in the cheerleading squad that would actually talk to me, and I'm not going to say her name for privacy reasons, but she actually genuinely talked to me, and there were times when I was like, is she actually talking to me, or does she not like me and she's just making fun of me? And when I saw that she was gone, I was like, wait, it was her. She must have been the one who made the hit list. And since I didn't hear about it, it means I wasn't on the list, which means she didn't hate me. She generally talked to me. Cool, but not so cool that she's gone. Now I'm lonely type of thing. Just, oh man. Okay, so the second time that my school was on the news was when I think I was a freshman in high school. Yeah, roughly around that time. So I remember this pretty clearly because I saw the action before the news reporters came by. So what happened was, hang on, I'm trying to remember. Okay, yeah. Okay, so my second period class was going on, and I had math, and I had a headache, and naturally, when you have a headache, you ask to go to the nurse's office. So I go to the nurse's office to get some ibuprofen because you're not allowed to carry any drugs or anything on you when you go to school, naturally. So I go to the nurse's office to get something for my headache, but the door is closed. Now, the door to the nurse's office is always open, so that way you can go and have things taken care of, but the door was closed. I thought it was weird. Now, with my school, the nurse's office, next to the nurse's office door, there's a window where you can see into the office. And when you see into the office, you see another window that leads to the outside of the school. To the school, like you see a parking lot. I look through the window to see what's going on, to see if I can get the nurse's attention. When I look through the window, I see that throughout the other window, there's an ambulance. And I'm all like, whoa, why is there an ambulance here? What's going on? The nurse goes, yeah, come back later. She sees that I'm looking for the window, and she pops out and goes, yeah, come back later. So I go back to class. I hand my teacher back the slip, and she sees that it isn't signed, and she's like, what's going on? And so like, did you not go? And I go, well, she told me to come back. There's an ambulance there. And she's like, oh, okay. Go back during celebration then. And so I did. By the time celebration was this thing that was like this 15-minute, like, I think it was roughly 20 minutes to a half an hour thing, kind of like a lunch break, an extra break for those who had good grades, and for those who didn't have good grades, they would use this time to catch up on assignments, to study, to make their grades better. I enjoyed this system. At least I enjoyed it at first, until I was one of those kids who was not taking part in celebration, but that's because of procrastination. But that's for a whole other video. But anyway, I went back during celebration, got my painkillers, my headache was gone. I still couldn't help but wonder what was going on with that ambulance, but I didn't want to be nosy, so I didn't ask. Then, as I was leaving school, leaving my last hour class and heading for the bus, I see that there's a news reporter there. And and lots of kids are waving at the cameras and stuff, and I'm going, you guys are dorks. What? Why? So I just go back on the bus. I just go on the bus, and I did catch a glance of the news reporter, so that way I can turn on the news and see what was going on. I watched the news, and apparently these kids had a drug overdose. And I'm all like, see, this is why we can't bring drugs to school, like painkillers or anything, because you get an overdose on it. So these kids had an overdose, and so they had to call an ambulance to get them. All right, so the kids turned out fine. No one died. And so, yay, happy ending in the end. And then here's the third part. The third time this happened, my school was on the news. I didn't see any effects. I didn't see like any reporters or anything until one day I was just laying on the couch doing my homework where my mom's watching the news, and apparently the news pulls up about a teacher at my school, and a teacher showed up drunk and got fired. And I take a look at this teacher. I don't recognize this teacher, and I'm all like, seriously, girl? Why do that? Just why? I know that last one was pretty brief, but it is what it is. So, yeah, just I'm happy that at least I didn't know this teacher, because based off of the picture, she looks like she was a quack. I asked around. No one else had her, because I was a junior when that happened, and she was a senior teacher. So, okay. Good thing then that she got fired, because I don't want to deal with a teacher like that. Anyway, those were the stories of my high school and my K-8 school when they were on the news. Hope you enjoyed the story and the speed paint. Have a good day, and may angels be with you.